Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. It's been a while since I've been on here making videos. A lot has changed in the last couple of weeks. Got a new job, pays quite a bit better than my old job, but it's still, a little bit of a struggle, so we have to do what we can when we can. Today I am building a real Minuteman stand. And if you don't know what that is, you haven't seen my original videos, the Minuteman stand. It is basically a stand or a cabinet that you can set your backpack on top of, your clothing that you intend on wearing, a shit hit the fan situation, without rule of law situation, your boots and so forth on it. So all you got to do is walk up to it, grab it and go. Okay, there's no digging around in your closet or digging around in your storage containers or whatever. It is for right now. Get your crap, get the hell out the door. And right now I'm using a miter box saw, chop saw, whatever you want to call it, to cut the legs. And I'm going to just do real short segments and put it all together and make one video out of it. So without further ado, and I left my damn shield, so I got to go grab it. Okay, got my face shield on. I prefer it when I'm using a saw, skill saw, any type of saw, because it doesn't, it protects your entire face, and the particles that are flung off by the blade tend to get up under safety glasses and right into your damn eyeball. I don't like that. When working with wood or steel or anything, once you make the cut, you can't undo it. Okay, and you may waste a lot. So what I do, I have learned to do, because I'm making a lot of mistakes, is especially like with this saw, I'll put my workpiece up here, I lay the tape exactly where I want it, and I bring the blade down to make sure it's going to cut exactly where I want it to cut, so that all the legs for the frame are all the same exact length, so it won't set cattywampus. We've already measured it. We're going to measure it again. It's dead on the money on 36 inches. And I'm not cutting dead on the money on the line. I want to cut it just over the line, so it's exactly 36 inches. And you got to be damn careful. Now they've got more modern saws that's got a laser beam and all that. I don't like those. I don't have one, and I don't like it the few times I've used it, because my cut, I get to relying on that damn laser and it's off just a tad. The width of the damn saw blade, and I don't like that. Here, I'm actually cutting just ahead beyond the line, so the edge of the blade will cut dead on the money at 36 inches. Okay, here is a close-up of it. And there's the piece under the tape. Okay, and I've got the tape right there, and I'm bringing down the saw blade so it'll cut right on the damn line. That's exactly what you want. I don't know how well the camera can see that, but the blade is actually going to cut just beyond that line, or right on the line. So it's exactly 36 inches, and the piece is absolutely square. So we've got it. Double check it again. And my damn shield's getting right in the way. Alright, it's dead on the money. I'm not going to let the piece move. Going to pick up the tape, clamp it with my hands, put my shield down. Being very careful not to cut my damn arm off. I don't know if the camera can see this or not, but they're dead on the money. If there's any deviation at all, it's so inconsequential unless you're on an absolutely flat, hard floor. They're just perfect. Perfect. All right. So now we got the legs for the frame. And now I'm going to start cutting the I don't know what the hell they call it in carpentry. I'm not a carpenter. but the pieces that'll connect it, tie them together, and the pieces that'll also have the flat platform on the top screwed to the framework. Okay, the next part is to cut the pieces for the 3 tiers. Alright, the way I just want to design it, I want a top tier that is absolutely flat, no snag, so that the main backpack, my Alice large, with the frame can sit on top of it. The frame can hang over the edge just a little bit, and all I got to do is back up to it like this table. It's actually going to be probably 3 inches, 4 inches higher. It's going to be about belt level. Back up to it, hook the straps, pull them tight, hook the belt, lean forward, and walk right away. Be done with it. Second tier is going to be for the clothing, such as a camouflage BDUs, ghillie suit, whatever the case may be for your application. And the bottom tier is going to be for my combat boots, gloves, heavy duty socks, whatever the case may be. You'll have that bottom tier to be all there together and be ready to rock and roll at a moment's notice. Now what we got to do now, see if the camera can get all this in, is we're going to take some pieces. It's going to be 14 inches wide by 18 inches deep, and we're going to have 3 tiers, so we need 6 of each. All right, 2 on the front, 2 on the back for the width, 2 on the sides, on each side, on each tier, the 18 inches long, and so we'll have our framework. So going to get the saw set up and the pieces measured, and we'll get started. Okay, every bit of the wood I'm using, the mobile home that we live in, Kim and I, it's an older model, and it had a built-in fireplace when it was originally built. She didn't like that, and she built a little alcove there for the computer and all. She didn't like that. We ended up tearing it down, but all this wood is original to the house, and it was going to be thrown away. I don't believe in throwing a damn thing away. I believe in keeping everything possible you might be able to use for the future. I haven't bought any of the wood here. Now these pieces I'm using for the legs, her dad had these before he passed away, and they might have been thrown away, but when she kept them, and man, these things have really come in handy because they're really sturdy, and basically they're a 2x2, even though in reality I think they're like 1.5 inches. Yeah, well, not even quite 1.5 inches, about 1 3/8 inches. So, or 1 7/16 inches, I should say. But anywho, without further ado, I don't have enough of the skinny ones to make the full, all of them, the outer part of the frame, so I'm using some of the wider pieces. So that's what we're going to use now. We're going to go ahead and cut them. I know you don't want to see all that, so I'm going to turn the camera off, cut each one, and turn the camera back on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, got 6 14-inch ones, 4 of them being the narrow ones, 2 being the wider ones, and we got 6 18-inch. This would be how deep it is. 14 inches would be how wide it is. Okay, and as you can see, they came out really nice. I'm getting better at this sawing shit. Sometimes they come out of the width of the blade off or better, but I measured it and I cut it correctly. Now all we got to do is start the assembly, which is going to be the fun part. And the way I'm going to do it, well, I'll tell you what, let me lay it out and then I'll do it with the camera. Okay, the way I intend on doing it is I'm going to have the legs inside, okay, so that this is tied to that, both are tied to this, okay, so it'll all be tied together. And I thought about doing it the other way. That's just not going to cut it. I mean, this is the way you do it on a house or whatever. You'd want all of it tied together and supporting each other. And there's going to be 3 tiers of it. This is just a scrap piece I had laying around. Well, I was just about to get carried away, and as you can see from the holes here, I'd almost screwed the pooch, and I realized, wait a minute, that's not going together square. What the heck did I do wrong? And I had this one lapping over this one And the way it was supposed to be is this one's supposed to be lapping over that one. So I'd already had some holes, but I can fill that in with wood putty if I worry about it. But of course I don't, so I don't give a rat's butt. Anywho, if you got this little device to build corners with, man, these things are awesome. I mean, to tell you. But it clamps the wood in there at a perfect 90-degree angle, keeps it from moving around. And if it's a little slightly warped like this one here, was a little bowed in just a tad, I was able to apply enough pressure with my thumb to bow it back out just that tad to make it flush. And it's not 100% perfect, but it's damn close to be, you know, for a piece of old damn wood. But I got these screwed, got this side screwed, now we're going to apply the other end. Basically all you got to do to use this little tool right here is you just put your pieces of wood in there. Make sure your lap is the way you want it, and you hold it down in the corner to making sure it's flush. I mean the edges are perfect and square, and you hold it down firmly in there, and then you just tighten your little clamps up. Now see, I tightened that one up and it moved that over so a little bit. So what you got to do is just, you know, flush it up, hold it in place, and tighten the piss out of it so it can't move. Then you want to check to make sure it's flat all the way around. And then I'm going to put my screwdriver over here so I can get everything leveled up. All right. And that is good and tight. And it's sitting in there flush, and it's flush here. So now all we got to do is take a drill, pre-drill some pilot holes, because you want the shank of the drill ever so slightly smaller than the screw. I mean, you want the threads of the screw to be just a little bit wider so it's got something to grab hold of. But you want the drill bit about the same size as the shank, maybe slightly smaller. And then you want to see it center that bit up so it's going to drill right straight into that piece of wood right there. And then don't get in a hurry, just take your time. And this wood is harder than it looks, I'm here to tell you. And it's moving around a little bit, so let me relocate my screwdriver. And you don't want to apply too much pressure. These little tiny bits will break in a heartbeat. Another thing you want to do is you either want it exact same length, I'll get it here in a minute, of the screw, or you want it slightly shorter. And I try to come up just slightly shorter so it's getting into fresh wood at the other end. And if you're lucky and you got two drills, you can use one to drive them in. Screw it right in there. Let me see, I'm making sure, yeah, I'm using my longer screws for the top one and my little bit slightly shorter screws, because I'm just using what I got laying around. I'm not going and buying a bunch of damn extra screws. I just don't have the money for it. Like I said, this new job pays quite a bit better than the other one, but it's still just barely a living wage. And you want to make damn sure you don't over torque the screw and drive it all the way in. You want to get it in flush, whoops, and make sure that it's tight. But other than that, you don't want to go too much deeper with it. Ruin the damn thing. Alright, next hole, same procedure. Get it up, centered up as good as you possibly can. Run it in, run it out just a little bit. Get rid of the shavings. Slightly short. Stop slightly short. Alright, next screw. I reckon the camera's getting all this. Damn if I know I'm trying to do this and camera too. That's the reason I made that mistake a while ago. That's it. Now, to do the final one. And there you go. First piece is assembled. Pretty and square. Well, you can't beat that with a damn stick. Even though I did that one screw up right here in that corner, I didn't get in such a big hurry and freak out and tear it all to pieces. This is going to be the top. Alright, now we need to make 2 others just like it. Number 2. This is going to be the top tier because it's a little wider, a little thicker. It's going to be supporting most of the weight. This is going to be the second tier. And you can see, they're dead on the freaking money. That's beautiful. Now we got to do number 3. Okay, so we got the 3 boxes done. And now we're going to start attaching the legs. And they're going to attach inside, so I've got screws here and here on all 3 tiers. The bottom tier will be sitting on the floor, so it gives it that much bigger a footprint, so it's more stable. But what we've done here, we just took a big old C-clamp, same type of C-clamp you use to compress a caliper on the front or rear disc brakes of a modern car, and just tighten it up so that it'll hold it square and straight. And I've got the piece sitting on the table, and I've got the legs sitting on the table, so they're flush and square. Of course, you want to flip it up, double check it, make sure it's flush. It is. Now all we got to do is drill a couple of holes, pop some screws in it, we're good to go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got the first leg attached right here. We're about to do the second leg. And basically all we're doing is pre-drilling a couple of holes in each side and putting some big long screws in there. And these screws will go through and leave about 1/4 of an inch of it inside the wood, so it doesn't protrude and poke you or snag you or rip you or cut you or anything else. So we're going to do that, do the other 3 legs, and then we'll start the camera back up when we do tier number 2, and which will be the shelf for your clothing. And then the very final one will be all the way on the bottom. And you probably didn't even see that, but let me see. Back the camera off just a tad. But the final one, it'll be all the way up here flush with the floor. So you have the largest footprint possible, and it'll be as sturdy as possible. And everything ties together to give it the strength side to side, front to back, and top to bottom. All right, that's the framework of it. Now the fun part, putting the very top on in each of the shelves, because there's going to be a lot of cutting to do. But once it's all cut, it'll all be tied together. We can go from there. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's done. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing cute. You sure as hell don't want it out in your living room. Your wife will beat the hell out of you with a stick. But that's it right there. Just a good little rack. The backpack will set up on top, clothes in the middle, boots or whatever down below. Just something quick, sturdy, and, well, I ain't gonna say quick. Hell, I've been at it for quite a few hours now. But like I said, I'm not much of a damn carpenter. You can see some of the crooked spots and the gaps and so forth in it, that I am not a carpenter, but it will serve the purpose. So now what I'm going to do is go get the backpack and some clothes and the boots and stick on it. I'm not going to go through the full routine other than just putting the backpack on. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Fully loaded Alice backpack, 2 quarts canteens on board, my emergency first aid kit and all right here hanging off the side, which I reckon you could consider an individual first aid kit, IFAC. Full, complete military sleep system, and I just walked right out here, bent over just a tad so to make sure it was clear, leaned forward, and bam, right on it went. Oh, of course I'll have to practice with it a little bit, but the point is this: Zip it up, lean slightly forward, and buddy, you just walk right out the damn door with it. And you can have your boots down here on the bottom, you can have your clothing in the middle one, extra rations, ammo, your handgun, whatever the hell cranks your tractor. When you're done, you just find it with your hands, lean back, pull your straps, step right out of your backpack. There you go. Now if you got small kids around the house, you might want to put a safety strap or something to keep it from falling over on them. You may want to bolt it to the floor or to the wall. But I made it small enough it'll go right into a small closet that we have here in this mobile home and be totally concealed once you close the doors. If you need it, you open the damn doors, you hook that damn thing and haul ass. And that was the whole idea behind the Minuteman stand. Now, I mean, you can make it a little fancier than what I did, close in the sides. But Kim would consider it an eyesore, okay? So I don't care to make it pretty because she ain't gonna want it out in public anyway because it's a backpack. I don't really want it out in public where everybody can see it. I want to be able to put the gear on it and at a moment's notice run up to it, grab it and haul button. Now I'm not finished yet because I still want to make it so that I can grab the web gear first. The idea I have behind it is once it's in the closet where I can lean it toward the wall is I've still got 6 or 8 inches to have the web gear hanging from it right here. I'll go grab it and we'll try it out. Okay, I can't really tell what the camera's seeing, but I just got my belt order laying here and up here on the gear. And what I would have to do is come around and grab it basically like this, pick it up, flip it around, drop it. Attach the belt. Of course, I got my damn handgun in my circle holster. Let me get that damn thing out of the way. And my multi-tool on my belt. I carry those every day. Pull it forward so that the belt's right there. That belt at the waist level. Alright, there you go. It's not a perfect solution yet, but we're working on it. If I had a better backpack, maybe this would be a little easier. But you get the idea. The idea is within a minute to 2 minutes, have all your gear on out the damn door. Okay? So we're going to do some practice with it over the next couple of weeks, and I'll do another update video as I add or subtract stuff to it. Probably going to wind up securing it to the wall, to a stud, so it doesn't move around. We'll have to see how that works out. Don't want to get punched in the head by Kimmo, but it was free. It was free. Everything, well, I ain't going to say free, but it was free to me at this time because I don't really have any extra money this week to be spending on building anything. I didn't even buy the screws. They were already purchased and you know, came in handy. And the wood all was used previously in some fashion, and I saved it or gathered it up from different sources and didn't cost me a damn dime. Just took my sweet time about how I wanted to do it. I thought about it for quite a while on what needed to be done, and I just did it. Now I've got it laid out open, the web gear, so I can just go basically grab it like this, slide it down my arms like I do the backpack. But anywho, this is Back Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Hope you got something from the video. If nothing else, maybe it stirred up an idea of how you could do your own Minuteman stand for your gear. And Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care and have a great day. Hopefully I'll have some more new videos here in the very near future. Thank you.